Good evening and welcome to Scrapbooking with a Twist. I am going to do a layout for the Dining Around the World, and buckle up. I don't know how this is going to go. I haven't really, well, we'll just do it. I've chosen a main dish, Vatican City. It's pasta alla carbonara. And it is a dish made with fatty cured pork, hard cheese, eggs, salt, and black pepper. To earn our check for this meal, we must create a religious or faith-based layout with a cream-colored background indicative of pasta. You must also use long vertical strips of paper to further represent the pasta, a minimum of 3. For an extra entry in Vatican City, include a thread nest. So that's what we're going to do. Now, you probably have never seen me use a cream background. Cream is not my jam. I do use cream, but not as a background. Rarely will you see me use a white background because I just don't. I like color. But it calls for a cream background. So I'm going to put a little bit of ink on it. I'm going to use this stencil. We'll just see how this goes. It may not work. This may be one of those videos that I I record and then don't use, But sometimes that happens. So anyway, I'm just going to do some of these flourishes very, very, very lightly and try to make a little bit of a background here. Now, you may not even be able to see some of them. I just want it to be so, so light. Just kind of break the spell of this cream background a little bit. And I don't really want a pattern. I just don't like cream backgrounds. So, and I see other people do them and I like them, but when I do them, I don't like them. So that's what we're doing. We're just gonna create a little bit of a kind of a wallpaper look, maybe. I don't know what it is, but anyway. Very, very, very lightly. Have y'all been frozen? We're supposed to start warming up, I think maybe a little tomorrow, not much, a little tomorrow maybe, but the weekend, I think we're supposed to start warming up some. And then I think we get up into the 70s in the next week or so, and we've been, we're like, it's been in the teens, and the chill factor's been like negative, which is pretty cold for us here in our area. Okay, so far so good. I'm good with this so far. We'll just see what it looks like when I start putting the stuff on it. I didn't really have anything that I thought, oh, that just really goes with what my layout is, but hopefully this will just be so light that it doesn't matter. My pictures are going over here, so I don't need much. Right over in here. And then I'm covering most of the bottom with embellishments. Hope I just didn't drag them off. I'm always catching my sleeve on my embellishments, dragging them off into the floor, and then my floor is like, it's just gone eternally. I'm actually going to scrapbook my daughter's family lighting the Advent candle. This is has to be a religious layout. And so this was at church one Sunday during Christmas, and they were lighting the Advent candle. And so a friend of mine actually took a picture of it and sent it to me. So that's what I am going to be scrapping for my religious layout. But I just want this, like almost a watermark is kind of what I'm going for. Maybe that's what we would call it. So it's going to be in behind those candles. And then this down here is going to have a bunch of leaves. I'm kind of going to do I'm doing this layout kind of as a takeoff from the table where our Advent candles are. Okay, I'm thinking, oh, that one up there is really light, but it's okay. Get one more right down in here. I think this one won't even show, but we'll do it anyway. I want a couple that are coming off of the page, so. I can't talk in ink, evidently. Okay. See, I need some coming off up here, though. Okay. Let me get one or two more of those, and then I think we'll have everything done we need to do. Maybe one more right over here. Okay, I think we're going to call that good. So that's that. I got all the inking actually done. So I made a ton of these leaves. And let me show you the die cut. I think this may be a Creek Bank Design die cut. But it cuts, it's not a holly leaf, but it kind of reminds me, maybe it is a holly leaf, I don't know. It reminds me of a holly leaf. So I cut that, but I cut it out of scraps. And so it's, where's the one this one goes to? I didn't cut it whole, is what I'm saying, because I was just using scraps. And so I would just cut it and then glue it. So I'm going to do one just to show you how I did all of these. But I just cut them individually and then, you know, a section, and then glued it because I didn't have scraps big enough to cut it whole. So I just cut one leaf at a time. But I needed a lot of them, and I wanted some variance in colors. So I just used a bunch of scraps. As a matter of fact, this dark green scrap, like I'm putting the glue on right now, I found it in a little tub thing, a little bin that I have a bunch of card stuff in from where we make the cards for our shut-ins at church. And I had like 15 of these just little rectangles of this that were left over from a card project, and I used every single one of them to do these leaves. So we've got the leaves done. Now let me kind of show you what the gist of this layout is going to be. I have, I'm going to use that, I think. I have these two pictures. I've already backed them. I backed them in the cream color and then in the red, and I've already framed my cream color background. So I'm going to put this picture, I think I'm going to banner this now that I look at it. I'm going to make kind of a little ledge for things to sit on down there. But I think I'll banner that. It isn't going to show much, period. So it doesn't really matter, I don't think, but the ends of it may show. So I think I'm going to banner it. I don't know what I did because I never do anything with these scissors except fussy cut. And I've got a little bit of glue on them, and I do not want glue on these scissors. They're my good fussy cut scissors. And I have been doing stuff and my eyes are not wanting to focus. But I think I'm going to put this like right down here. I'll set that picture on it. And then I'm going to just build, I don't know what, oh, that's upside down. I'm just going to build these leaves. If you can, I know you probably can't see this, but this is our Advent candle. And it's just full of like greenery. And then it has the 5 Advent candles. There are 3 purple ones, a pink one, and a white one. And so you light the 3, I can't even remember what all, there's peace and love and I don't know. You light all of those, and then the white one is the Christ candle, and we do it on Christmas Eve. We light it on Christmas Eve. So I think the first thing I need to do is get this little shelf down straight, which is, you know, really not in my wheelhouse to do things straight. But let's try it. I've got my extra fine point on this because I was doing alphas and doing those leaves. I really needed it, and so it doesn't come out very fast. All right, let's get this down. And I think this is about where I need it. I gotta have a little room because I've got a bunch of leaves to put down there. I want them kind of going all the way across, and then I've got my candles cut. Okay, so now we can go ahead and probably put the picture down and get it on there. Let's see. This is textured paper, so I definitely want to use some glue. I may do some tape also, but definitely need glue on this textured paper. And if I don't keep this closed up, it will stop up. Okay, so let's get our picture on here. Okay, now here are our candles, and I want, of course they all start out the same height, but I want the white one, which is the Christ candle, to be the tallest. And then I forgot which one the pink one is. Don't really remember. I cut these at all different lengths. But I do like that background back in behind that. See, this is the shortest one. And then, and I'm going to put a couple of these up on foam. So I'm thinking, let's do this one down, maybe that one up. Let's shorten these just a little. We have to have at least 3 of the long strips. So hopefully these are enough to be considered long strips. I'm going to leave that. I want that white one on up there. And then the pink one just a little beneath it. Then that one. And then this one. Because like the first purple candle, you light it the first week. And it's like the 5 weeks before Christmas. And so that one, and you light it every week. So that one would definitely be shorter than the others. So anyway, so that's, I think, what I want. So I'm going to put down, I think I want to move them over just a little. Kind of center them in this blank space. Okay, let's put the white one down, and then I'm going to put the purple ones, I think, up on foam. So let's get our white one down and kind of start with it. So the purple ones are going to be lit, and the white one and the pink one are not. So now I want that one to be pretty close to the top of the page. Let's check out see how straight we are. Since these are candles, I don't want them like running sideways. Okay, so I think that one's okay. And then this purple one, I think I'm gonna, like I said, I'll put it up on foam and I'm gonna overlap it a little, I think, with the white one. And then that purple one in the middle, and then this one also up on foam and overlap it just a little with the pink one. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So let's get our pink one on there. A little shorter than the white one. We had never done, I mean, Advent candles are not really a big thing in Baptist churches. You know, I think like my daughter-in-law was certainly familiar with it, and she was from a Lutheran background. But our pastor said, why don't we do that? That's pretty cool. And so I actually made it isn't a wreath. It's not a wreath at all. I looked up a bunch of pictures and just kind of winged it on how I was going to make it. But it's pretty anyway with all the greenery and then the candles in it. Okay, now we need this purple one, but I want to put it up on foam. So we need foam. Is this too wide? Nope. Let's just run it. Okay. And then we're going to have to, we've got to put this one's going to be lit. So let's go ahead and put the flame on it. You know what? It needs a little dab of I don't want to do it on there. It needs a little, oh no, it won't. Never mind. Because it has, okay, this is the big one, so it needs the smallest thing. I made these little things to look like, you know, where they drip. And I need a little, actually, I think I'll just use this. Nope, that's thick too. I need something pretty thin for that. I guess I'll just use these. Now let's see. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I want that to be up off of the candle just a little bit. So I'm going to put a little foam on the dripping wax. And then, hey, don't do that. And then put that right up there. And I just free cut these. I just cut my candles with the paper trimmer and then cut these little wax things just freehand, and the little flame freehand. Okay. I mean, that's probably okay. And then we can just glue our little flame. I kind of left that wick. I cut a wick on all of them, and then I left it to glue the flame to. All right, that's not too bad a candle. So I'm going to let that dry just a second while we build these other candles. Okay, so this is going to be the next biggest one. So it has a little more drip maybe, and then our short one will have quite a bit more drip. Okay, let's get our flame for that. Straighten it up just a little. Okay, let that one dry a second. And our last one, where is my drip? This one's got a lot of drip. Okay, like I said, there wasn't really a way to just lay this all out and make sure it worked, so you're in on the, I had a plan, but never know whether your plan's gonna work or not. Let's see, let's get that up. Boy, I tell you, when that foam tape sticks, it sticks. Okay, so that's gonna be the middle one. This is gonna be this one. Let's get our flame on it. Where'd you go, flame? There it is. And I inked the purple candles in black soot. And I inked the white one and the pink one in, what's it called? It is hickory smoke, the gray, the hickory smoke. All right, now I want this gray one, purple one, about like that, so I can cut it off some. Let's go ahead and peel that, and then this one's down and there is no change in it. And I need to try to get it straight. And I want it a little shorter than the pink one. So let's go about like that. And okay, there we go. Then this one is going to be just a little shorter than that one And then this one is going to be a little shorter than that one. But I think I want to overlap this onto the edge of the pink one. But it's got to have foam tape. You know what? I think I'm going to get that narrower. If I have any. Yeah, there's some. Just, these were all the same width, but it just seemed like I was trying to. All right. Now. Okay. And just a little shorter than that one, and overlap just a tiny bit. There we go. And then our last one, where'd I throw? Oh, there it is. All of this down here is going to be covered up with our leaves. So the fact that they're not even and some are on foam tape and some are not doesn't really matter. Okay, now this one, just a little shorter. Whoa, come back here. A little shorter. I may cut part of it off. Okay. Now then. All right, now we've got to start working on our leaves that come across. So, let me get this put away before it stops up. I cannot see to get that little thing on there. My eyes are... I actually thought I had an eye infection this morning. Well, yesterday it was itching and... Well, I never have this much trouble. It was itching and watering and kind of matted. Not bad, but some when I woke up this morning. And so I called one of my best friend's nephew is an optometrist, but he's really, I mean, he's the one that figured out that my son had shingles in his eye. If it hadn't been for him, he'd have lost that eye. But anyway, and they were going to work me in. But after I got up and around and everything, it was getting better. And I was drenching it with this stuff and it was doing better. So I told them I would just make it till Monday and then we'd see. All right, so I just want to work these leaves all the way across. And then I'm probably going to put some red berries on them. And then I'll come back when I kind of figure out where I want them. I'll come back and I'll put some foam under some of them, or under the outer edges or something. But I think I want something similar to this. And I didn't, like I said, I don't know if I have enough or not. And then I might actually try to tuck one up in here if there's enough and if I think it would look good. And then I thought I might build it up a little higher. I'll have to because that white strip's not quite long enough up in here. But see, I thought I might actually come in like under, that's what I'm going to do. With this one, I'm going to come in under this because there are leaves, you know, all around those, or greenery all around those candles. So I want that in under there. And I'm saving these two to put with the title. And then we may do one something like that. We'll just wait and see. Or even just another one in under there. like that. We'll see. Just playing, just playing. Just a playing is all we're doing. But I think that's kind of the gist of what I want. Ugh, and I've used every single one, so that better work because I don't think I have another one. This is kind of skimpy over here compared to that. All right, I'm gonna, but that's what I want. And then I'm gonna do my title up here, this one up with the title. Okay. All right, we've got to get these down. It's scary. It's kind of scary. Okay. So we just got to start putting them down. That's all there is to it. I can't, I mean, there's really no way to, I think I need to start building back this way though and not let okay, I just got to do it. That's all there is to it. I just got to do it. All right. So a little bit of glue, and I am just gonna tack them down because I'm, like I said, I want to come back and put, some foam tape under some of them. So, oh, I need to do the twist. So the twist tonight comes from John chapter 1, verses 4 and 5. And it says, "In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." There just isn't any life without light. It's just that simple. I mean, yes, there's life down in the bottom of the sea where there's no light, and, you know, maybe some mushrooms or something grow, you know, where there's really not any light. But basically, every living thing pretty much needs light. I mean, if it wasn't for sun, I mean, we get vitamin D from sunshine. So spiritually, Jesus is our light. And without him, there isn't light. And so we have to realize that he is our source of life. So there's no life without it. There's no trees, there's no grass, there's no flowers. And spiritually, we just don't have life without Jesus. So real life is what I'm talking about. You know, people have life, don't misunderstand. People do have life without Jesus, but, you know, when tragedies come and the darkness that it's talking about hits, life is really tough without the light in our lives. So we have to remember that evil cannot triumph over the light. Evil may think it's winning, and it may feel like evil's winning, but evil does not triumph over light. And so it will overcome the darkness. So when we're having those dark days and we're having those dark times, and we all have them at some point in our life, then we just have to remember that the light will overcome the darkness, and hang in there and truly, truly believe that, and just hang in there, knowing that the light will prevail. Okay. I think I'm kind of got on a roll here with my leaves. Hey, you need to glue down. I was just bragging. can't go off the page with it. Hold these down till they stick just a little bit. All right, let's see, what do we need here? I think that, do I need one more back down here? Maybe. I might cut that down so that it's smaller, because I want a little bit of white like I've got down here. So let's try cutting this one down just a little bit. So I think I want it under this one. Maybe more like that. I like that. Okay. I better put a little more glue on this one, I think. Yeah, I was glad I found this dark green. And I mean, there were like 15, I think, of those little kind of rectangles. I mean, this just barely fit on them, but it was perfect. And I used every single one of them doing something. Okay, I think that's good with that. Now let's go back and start putting a little bit of foam under some of these. Get my foam scissors. Whoa, that's my thread nest. So I can get the extra check. Okay, I just want to put a little piece of foam under the edges of these so that they're not flat. Oops, I guess I should take the foam off of the paper off of both sides. And I don't know if I'm going to do all of them or just some of them, maybe all of them. We will just see as we go. My best friend and I go to Weight Watchers, and we're both lifetime members, and she was sick. Things just kept coming up, and then next weekend I have a craft retreat, so I can't go we go to meetings on Friday, and there aren't very many meetings around us anymore. Back before COVID, we had several choices, and now we either go to Weatherford or Fort Worth, and so we usually go to Weatherford, nearly always go to Weatherford. That's kind of our home spot, and we're down to like, we've got to go tomorrow, cold or not. She had the flu. We couldn't go last week, so we've got to go tomorrow, or we'll end up having to pay, because we both are under our goal weight, but if you don't weigh in at least once during the month, then you have to pay. We don't want to pay. So we got to weigh in tomorrow. I think I'm working this down practically into my lap where you can't even see. Okay, but I do like those leaves lifted like that. Just kind of adds a lot of dimension to it, and I like it. I'd like to add even more, but I'd like to put some with two, but I'm not. Just makes them too thick. too thick, too many books. I try to get 2 years at least in a scrapbook. And if I can, I like to get 3. Just depends kind of, vacations are what take up the most room, seems like. And I try to do, you know, birthdays and stuff like that. But as you saw my organization video, I'm sure, where I have a checklist of the things that for sure go in there nearly every year. And but if we have vacations with a lot of neat stuff, then it's hard to, it starts getting a lot of pages, and it's hard to get more than 2 years in a book. And I put, I mean, you know, for me to just put 2 pictures on a page is pretty unusual, but this is all I had of that particular event. So this one just has 2 pictures. Okay, I gotta do, that one just needs to be, oh no, I need foam on it. Where's my phone go? Oh, onto my floor, of course. But that way, you know, I mean, you can't have 100 books. My daughter-in-law and my daughter just can't have 100 books. That's just all there is to it. And even though they'd love them, but you've got to be realistic about what you can store. And I think as the boys get older, there'll be less. There just aren't those accidental things like, you know, when they're just over here goofing around and I take pictures of them, I scrap them. And so there'll be less of that because they just won't be around as much. Okay, I'm going to start putting on the red dots, the holly berries, and kind of figure out where I want them. I know I want some right here. And I just punched these out of the red paper, and I'm probably going to stack them so that they're not just flat. I'll probably like do 2, maybe 3 layers on them, at least 2. I don't use enamel dots a whole lot. I make my own little things like this, and with just, it's much cheaper, and then you have the color you need. So let's see, let's put maybe a couple there. And stack them. And like I said, I may end up coming back and putting a 3rd layer on these. We'll just see. Let's put one right there. May come back and put one right there. Let's see. Let's do 3 here. I need to kind of cover that bottom part of that candle. Stick. There we go. All right. I have not been off my property. I've hardly even been out to the mailbox this week since it's been so cold. My dogs just curl up in front of the fireplace, and we just stay in, and we go to the kitchen and get something to eat, come back in here and craft a little more, do a few little things, and then just, I've done a lot of, I started, well, actually I got it done. My big cabinet, I got my big bookshelf thing where all of my, a bunch of my supplies are. I went through it and straightened everything up and kind of moved some things around and reorganized it a little bit. It looks good. I kind of know where things are. So that was good. Did that today. I really need to get back in the guest bedroom. I'm redoing that closet in there. I store a bunch of Christmas, like a couple of wreaths and some things like that. I've got a big old closet in there that I can just hang things on the wall. And I need to get in there and work on it a little bit. And I was going to, because I was going to have company this weekend. My brother and sister-in-law were coming, and then they had to cancel. And then I didn't get in there and do it. I just kept playing in here. So that still has to be done. All right, I'm thinking I may put one right there, and then I think that's it. I want it in under there. One more. There we go. Okay, that's got, I think, everything I'm going to do down here done. So now we've got to do our title, and then I know this video is getting long, and I apologize, and I was afraid it would. I'm going to turn this around to work on this. I was afraid it would when I had decided what I was going to do. I have this that came in a swap that says joyful, and then I cut Advent, and I was just gonna literally, and then I found that joyful, and I thought, that might work too. So let's just see. Sorry, you're looking sideways. Where's my V? Oh yeah, I'll leave it to me to lose a letter. They were all in here. What did I do? A-D-V-E-N-T. Huh. What happened to my V? Is it tangled up in here? No. How do you lose the V? Huh. Well, that's silly. Well, I'm not happy about that. Not one bit. Oh, there's another leaf that I raked off in the floor. My V is probably down in the floor with it, but I don't see it, of course. It shouldn't be because I put it all right there. Well, I will just leave it, and I will cut another one. And I won't glue that down because I want to be sure it's where it needs to be. But I think I want my leaves on here, and then I want Advent out here. I gotta be sure. I'm not gonna glue this down. Oh, I guess I should kind of get it in the right order though. A-D-V-E-N-T. Okay. And my little V won't take up much room, but that's where it's going to be. And then I was kind of thinking about doing the joyful right up here. I know I don't have gold anywhere else, but I just kind of thought that was pretty. And I may do that. And then I was going to put my little put this in under there, under my leaves, a little nest of string. And I'll put some holly berries on those. So let me turn this around so I can see it now and see if that's what I think I want to do. Yes, I think that's what I'm going to do. And I may use that joyful. I think I will. Okay, so let me turn it back around so that I can glue this stuff down. My little string thing, I like to, actually, I think I need to turn it over though. I like to like glue it to something and then put it down, because I don't like, I mean, it's hard to make it do when you're gluing string down. And this is a little bit heavier, and so I really like to, like I just glued it to this little piece of paper and let it sit for a while. And then that makes it a lot easier to handle. I don't want that down over my picture, really. Get a little more glue under there. And then you actually have something to glue to because you've got your paper. Okay. And then I'm going to put my leaves like that. And then I'm going to add my holly berries. And then when this dries really good, I can mess this up a little bit more. I don't want it down on Nate's face. All right, let's do some holly berries. I cannot believe I lost that V, and I know I had it in there. Those need to be a little closer. Okay. All right, now we got to get this title, or at least part of the title down, till I can have a new V. It doesn't take much room. I don't want, let's go ahead and get joyful down, because I do think I'm going to use it. This was in a swap, but it didn't have a name on it. So I don't know who made it, but thank whoever made it. I think it was in one of our Forever Faith swaps. And now that I'm getting my notebooks organized, I can see what I have, and it makes finding things like this much easier. Okay. Let's get this. Whoa, well, hello. Thank you for just floating in on this. supposed to go. I think it was over here. Okay. Now I can do AD, and then I'm not going to do anything else because I don't want to not have room for my little V. And then I think we're going to be finished. I know this is a long video, but like I said, this was one that I just wasn't sure what I was going to do everywhere. Okay. Sorry about working upside down also, but I just don't think I could have gotten to this title. Okay, all right, that's going to be it. So let's flip it back around. I will recut the little V and finish gluing that down, but that is what it's going to be. So I thank you so much for sticking with me through this. It was a long one, and I apologize, but have a blessed day and be a blessing to someone else. Thanks for dropping by. The information will be down in the description box on the hop over at Ginger's Corner, and thanks. See you again.